Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfside channel. Today with a very special topic, always special. Haven will be improved a lot and the new pet level system. Sadly, Henrik doesn't have something to show, but he looked at the Henrik voice AI videos linked down in the description if you're interested.
On account of this shit, I still have a reach. Gotta run up the leash, cause this for my life.
Anyway, let's go to the topics.
Sprint 3 have some very important focus on especially new player experience. We are pretty much overhauling Haven quite a lot. Changing the entire tutorial, very much based on awesome feedback from you guys. Also obviously feedback from new players that are a little bit confused or find some things a little bit annoying or not, fun enough, just running too far to go to some of the steps, lumberjacking a little bit too long, those things that we may not want to have all that in your face when you start out the game, because it can be a little bit overwhelming. It has a lot of depth and a lot of different things to explore in the game, so we try to find that good balance of introduce new players with the necessary information first. And we also want to give them a little bit of a taste of things that Milan can offer them. There's not too much exciting things or long-term end game content, as you know. But we have a few good ideas how we can get some sneak peek into some different directions. So yeah, Haven is getting an overhaul. So if anyone is interested in trying that out when we get close to testing it out, we are happy to get feedback. We that have been playing quite a bit, going through multiple characters, it's easy to forget about the new fresh gaming experience, right? So we looked at a lot of new players, some reviews from new players and so on. But feel free to obviously test it as well and give your input. Many of you guys also have a good understanding of what's important, right? But we are actually expanding on it. So we are making the two first steps, the crafting, combat, which is big core pillars of the game. We're centralizing that in a better way, updating it a little bit, and then you will be able to kind of get your first mount, so you can travel around to the points more efficiently, and also how to learn how to get a mount. That's a big thing for a lot of new players. And we also want to introduce the task system, because we notice a lot of people still miss the tasks. That is a good way to get going, make clays, money and so on. And we want to make sure it's a core thing that everyone can start out with, because that's also a more efficient way to gain clays, as rather than grinding those walkers. Pig Haven mounts. So we have those already, right? But they're not very efficient, so we may want to add one type of horses, so they get to learn that process as well, right? And we also want to add a more proper dungeon experience that they can, because that's also another thing, right? When a lot of new players join in, they go to Milan and they're a little bit lost. They expect a dungeon raid or everything to be in front of them, but a lot of people are actually not aware that we actually have a lot of dungeons with a lot of progression and boss fights and so on that you have to team up for. So we want to make sure that they get a small taste of all of those important things. We want to make sure that they communicate, interact, and of course the new system when it comes to what we used to call the notice board, right? But I guess we call it guild finders now instead. So that would be a very powerful tool for you guys that are veterans and run your own guilds already, to market your guild with some really good information, everything you would like to put on as a display for your guild, so new players can easily find your guild with proper tags that fits your style and so on. So that would be a good tool for you as well to recruit members that are looking for something that your guild stands for, pretty much.
And now to the random questions and answers list. If you have problems with your Twitch drops, please contact the Star Wars support. FSR will be improved with the next Unreal Engine update. They are currently working on that. With the new update will also come a lot of performance improvements on the FPS side. And parallel, they will work on the character optimization, that you can have 400 characters on the screen again, like they had with the Unreal Engine 4, but now they need to achieve that with the Unreal Engine 5 as well. The new dungeon will be in the wilderness and will have a completely different concept. They are also working on the pet level improvement. The experience gain will be increased when the pet actually kills something. And in the future with the breeding and the farming systems, you can also level your pets. TC balance is important, and Star Wars is taking that very seriously, and they are working on that it's not feeling so unfair. And they will maybe tweak something in the future for that. Relic Wars will come back to Mortal Online 2 like it was in Mortal Online 1, where you can fight over relics. Just to give you an example, a relic gives you 1 pet level per 1 minute, something like that, if you put that in the religion house and stuff like that. And there will also be rare drops. For example, a sword dropping from the sky. You can't log out with that, you can't bank that stuff, and you need to use that. That will give more options for the PvP. They will not insert a turn cap for the combat. They are working on something different in the background, and we can test it someday when it's finished and polished. A few skills will be cleaned. They are also wanna change the skills that it feels like you have 100 skills or something, stuff like that. And also something like every skill is 100 all the time or something like that. But this was just a maybe and a brain idea of Henrik. I don't know if that they follow through with that. The adrenaline system is currently worked on, and they are also working on every move for every weapon group. Yes, also the archers will have a special move. Henrik said the jungle dungeon is unique. The dungeons will be designed that it's not easy to dominate a dungeon with a guild or a zerg. An invasion system will come like in the first game, where Risers will take over Mirrorland, for example. Dynamic AI for events will come that GMs can't be biased or can't be judged to be biased. End of Sprint 4, the next stuff will be planned, for example, maybe there will be breeding in there. Jumping with mounts will maybe come, but this is more or less a maybe. Subscription will stay, but Haven will be free to play someday. Old dungeons will be reworked. Some magic schools are meant to be a little bit more expensive than others, but they won't bulldozer prices and patch that to shit. Lycatus has some natural defenses because of its scales. Spiritism world should be more fun, Henrik said. The subscription numbers of Mortal Online are growing. Fire arrows will come to the game. More lore and more backstory will come with more secrets. Henrik loves Ultima Online, and he said Mortal Online is basically Ultima Online but in new and modern. The demon portal will come again to Mortal Online 2 like it was in Mortal Online 1. Sophistication values will come with a few new functions down the road, but this is only when they have the time. Dragons and huge world bosses will be added after they have developed the AI for that. PvP balance is a never-ending cycle, and they try their best to make it fair. Henrik showed some dragon footage again, and he talked about really big stuff, map changing events, very unique player hunting skill, epic whatever stuff. But they need to focus on other things first, he said, so this is something for later, the dragon. Here comes a big thing. Disable the lockout timers completely in the wild. This is a maybe that your character then stands there. I personally like that change, if that really comes like that. But I guess he just meant if you got hit and you were running in your house, that you can't log out in there for a lot of time because you were hit and you were in combat and stuff like that. And it was also just a maybe from Henrik. The AFK timer will be maybe removed when the server is not an overload, then you don't need to kick the players. Another big thing, server costs and stuff is high for Mortal Online, and the development costs a lot of money. They won't make a free-to-play model with microtransactions because they need to throw out a new game each year or something like that and clutter the game with unnecessary paywalls, bullshit stuff, and Henrik don't like that. No one likes that, and that's why they have a subscription model and will continue with that. Another interesting thing is Henrik said that Zaduka is looking great in Unreal Engine 5. That means that Zaduka is in development currently, it seems. So yeah, please leave your opinion about these changes, about the upcoming content in the description. In the comments, please. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell. And share this video with your guildmates and friends and new players. It would be awesome. So special thanks to all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Professor Lukario, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Bulldog, Giovanni, Vargas, RealMadWurst, and all the others, of course. It's getting faster and faster each time. Yeah. Woo. And don't forget to make party hard. Oh yeah. I mean, seriously. See you next time. Goodbye.